I'm Lyndsay Malchuk. Welcome to the Market Frontlines. High-grade gold, real width, in the golden triangle. And when those three things collide, the market pays attention. Today, I get to sit down with Brad Rourke, CEO of Scottie Resources, a company pushing serious ounces out of one of the most prolific gold districts in the world. Now, this isn't theory. This is drilling that's actually delivering, and this is a strategy that's actually tightening. And this is a team positioning itself for what could be a very different valuation conversation. Brad, it's so great to have you here with us. What an amazing show it's been so far.
Oh gosh, it's probably my 25th PDAC over the years. It's you couldn't walk around today, and it's pretty busy in here.
Absolutely.
Yesterday as well.
Absolutely. So I sat down with Terry Lynch recently. Of course, he's on the board of directors for PDAC, and he said they're breaking records of attendance this year. So yeah, that tells you sort of how the market is going for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good. It's encouraging, and a lot of good stories out there. But it seems a little bit more enthusiasm from the people walking the floors and the beaches. Yeah, we've had great meetings. It's been fun.
So good. Now, there is some audience members that may not be overly familiar with Scottie quite yet. So just give us sort of the high-level pitch on your projects, where you're located, and anything like that.
Sure. So we're operating out of the Northwest British Columbia in the Golden Triangle, and we've been an exploration company for about the last 10 years. And we've just kind of turned a corner and transitioning into a developer and kind of racing towards production with the commodity price so high. It's, and as soon as we made that kind of pivot, and then the market all of a sudden thought we were interesting. So
you've aligned.
Looks like it was the right decision. And so we're just running it as quick as we can. And we should, by our model, we'll be in production in the second half of 2028.
So tell me about your background. Tell me about your team.
Sure. So myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've always mostly been in resource extraction for 40 years now. Like it's just hard for me to even say that, but I'm going to turn 60 here next month or going to bit. Yeah. So I've been around resource extraction for forever. And, this was an investment for me. This is this is a complete mistake in my life in the sense of I was just an investor in the company, ended up taking it over, I can do this. And then my education started. So I'm in my 10th year. But what I've done is built a team under me that for the business side of these things I'm quite comfortable with, but put together a pretty good technical team. Thomas Mumford, who's the president of the company now, been with us for 8 years. We just won the highest exploration award that you can win from your geological peers. It's called the Spud Huestis Award. So we were just awarded that last year. We've brought on as a new COO to us. But this was the general manager of the Brucejack mine. So he was there from Pretium to the Nisga'a and the Newmont transactions. And before that, he was part of the build team for the New Afton mine. So mining engineer through and through, who's built mines and operated mines. And the Brucejack's a complicated mine. So he comes to here, and this seems quite easy for him. But that's probably one of the strongest links in our chain. And then what you'll see here in the next bit, as we've kind of said we're going in production, we'll leave no doubt that we have the team
That's
to
so
execute.
Right to hear. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, then let's talk about the community that you're in. Where is it exactly located? Is it close to, all the amenities that you're going to need? The community, the bands, all the things like that.
Sure. So we operate out of a little town called Stewart, and it's a beautiful little town in just kind of northwest BC, at the bottom of the Alaskan Panhandle. So Keechee little town, mining town. It's been there for 100 years, and we operate out of the Nisga'a territory. That's our First Nations partnership there, we're in the middle of an IBA, but it's been a pleasure to work with the Nisga'a, but a little bit unique because I raised my children in the area. So I actually lived in the area for about 28 years of my life, just a couple 100 kilometers away in a little town called Smithers. But when you live up north like that, that's close. So, not that it gives me a free pass or anything, but I am familiar with most of the community members up in the area, all up and down Highway 16. So, like I say, it's been really, really good for us. The Nisga'a pro business, and so Yeah, it's been great. The infrastructure that we have because of that town of Stewart is we're remote, but we drive right to our site. There's power line right beside us. And there's, more importantly, there's this deep water shipping facility that I drove by for 8 years while we're drilling holes and didn't really equate that, that's an easy transportation for ore. So yeah, we've, 7 kilometers underground workings because Scottie is a past producing mine. So we lack really nothing from the infrastructure on our wish list. We've kind of, you got to clean up and spruce up a fucking few pillows here and there. But yeah, for the most part, the heavy lifting's done on infrastructure, which allows us to be this unique story where we are today because we just don't have much to build. So very low capex.
That's really, really great. Well, then let's dive right into how the production is going. You just released your final assays, which are the biggest drill seasons that you have had.
Yeah.
So let's pull that back further and tell us all about that.
So yeah, this will be our 6th drill season that we completed. So when we made this decision to go into production, one of the things that was lacking is I need to get my resource to an indicated level. So yes, it's been a phenomenal drill season, but it is development drilling. So we weren't, this is not us expanding the resource. This is just proving, getting this ore ready so we could get into a feasibility. So fantastic result. What that should tell the market is our model is very good because even we're blushing. It was a heck of a season for this year. And those holes also do double duty because our resource is so shallow that those holes are also going down and expanding down and below where our stated resources from. And so we're very encouraged. The ability to add ounces where our confidence is probably higher than ever. But more importantly with those, we've had some pretty fantastic drill results, but it just means, what we were showing the market. Then we do an updated MRE and we're going to get one more drill season in and then we'll put out an updated MRE with a feasibility study and then make that application for, to get into production. So, a lot happening in 2026 and we're funded to do it. So.
Well, do you think that those drill results were a catalyst moment where you and the team are now looking, going, okay, this is gonna move us?
There's no doubt. I mean, they're eye popping. I mean, we always kind of made that top drill list for the week of every time, pretty much every drill release we put out this year. So what that does is it puts eyeballs on you, which is really, we're all competing for attention. And, there's 2,000 of us here, and there's no such thing as a bad mining story. We've all got great mining stories. So, my hope is that, your eyes wide and go, and just hopefully you do that due diligence needed because it's sitting there for you to see. There's a lot of value to unlock. So anything that can bring eyeballs, and people love big, juicy drill results.
Of course they do, and it just keeps getting juicier. What about your PEA? So your drill results came out right after the company put your PEA out there. So tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, the PEA is not included really with the drilling that we've just done. So again, Matt, where I said the model's held in. So these results, the 27,000 meters, are not included in that. So when we do the update, and we're not doing a pre-feasibility, we're going right to feasibility because the project's quite simple. Nothing's simple, I understand that, but in the big scheme of things, so right to feasibility, and then we'll update. So our ability to add ounces. I think most people have some of these experts have bigger expectations than we do at this time, and I welcome that. But we've always kind of had a history of promising, over delivering, and don't think we're going to change anything we're doing.
So what do you think then? You have all these great results coming out. You have the PA under your belt as well. What about a challenge? What are some of the challenges that you're facing right now? And how are you navigating through it? Is it permitting or is it?
Well, permitting is a nightmare for everybody, I believe. But because we're just doing an amendment to a permit, and because the community wants this to happen, I'm probably blessed more than anybody. But oh my gosh, it's a lot of work and consultants and so you have to go through that. We're about halfway through that process. There's these long lead times with environmental and water baselines and geotechnical stuff, and so we're well past the halfway point on all that stuff. So it's going quite well. You know, big challenges I see is like 50,000 meters. We're going to start drilling in June. That's a lot of meters for us. But again, what we've done now is we've made sure we've got the people, and I've been trying to front load up on human capital right now, because as the gold price goes up, it's hard to attract. So we would put a lot of effort into making sure that we have the team that to pull this off. So again, the market will see that here in the next little bit. Safety's always a concern, like that, what keeps me up. But I mean, this is the same as anybody else, but it's hard work, but there's no big speed bumps or no real obstacles that we can see in front of us. It's, we've got a good handle on it, and we just got to run as fast as we can now.
So you're running into production. Are you open pit or are you underground?
Well, we're lucky we've got the dream.
Both.
We've got both.
No.
And that starter open pit basically pays for all the underground. I mean, we could have had a much bigger open pit, but we didn't want to sterilize some of the higher ground, not to get too complicated here. So we're going to start with 3 tiny little open pits, which we believe there'll be about 80,000 ounces that come out of that, and that represents about 1.2 years of our rates. So that it's $7,000 gold Canadian, right? And I know gold went down today a little bit, but it's irrelevant to us. That basically pays for the whole project. And we did a bulk sample so the proof of concept is there. Like, we just sold 4,600 tons of ore, and we netted $9.3 million. So that proof of concept, I think, is why you saw the stock go off. What they're saying we can do, because those open pits are actually, in our minds, as good, if not better, than where we did the test pit funds.
So in the next couple months, pardon me, Fred, what do you want a headline to be for Scottie in the next couple months or 3 months?
So we've completed putting out the drill results for the year, and so you always go, okay, market's held in really, really nice for us. I'm really going to be promoting team, because there are a bunch of new, what do you need? You need the rocks, you need the jurisdictions, you need the money to execute. And the most important thing is you need team. Those are the boxes. So really, I mean, the promotion or the story I'm going to get out is basically just look at the bench strength that we have. And then there's going to be a lot of new faces there. And then the drills are turning in June, right? So
in June already.
And there's probably permitting information that we're hoping to get that we could put out to the market, just how that's going, and so it's not like we don't have anything to speak about. And then
just not yet.
I'm going to go out and I believe the market's on. I've really sat in the back seat for marketing up until about 6 months ago, and now I have confidence we're in the right environment, and so now you just got to make sure everyone knows your story.
Oh, well, I'm happy to tell your story anytime, so definitely come back soon.
Awesome. It was lovely talking with you.
You as well. Again, I've been sitting with Brad Rourke, CEO of Scottie Resources, trading on the venture under SCOT, on the OTCQB under SCTSF, and in Germany under SR80. If you're looking for high-grade exposure in the Golden Triangle with a clear strategy behind it, this story is the one you'll want to track closely. Do your due diligence, watch the drill results, follow the execution. Their website, scottieresources.com, and definitely head over there and join the conversation. I'm Lyndsay Malchuk, right here from PDAC 2026.